Hi everyone, it's Lindey. Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to have a discussion about why I am so darn passionate about reselling. You know, it's kind of funny. Some of the comments that I get on my videos, I've had people comment things like, why do you bounce around so much? And geez, lady, it's just listing on eBay. It's not that exciting, you know? And I realize that I am super duper animated in my videos. And whenever I'm talking about like listing tools and tips that I have for buying and selling, and when I'm talking about things that I sold and all of this stuff, I know that I get super excited and animated, and I know a lot of people tend to think that it's really over the top, and honestly it's just because I am so passionate about reselling. And so I wanted to talk about why. And the reason why I want to talk about it is not because I feel like I need to defend how animated I am or how loud I get in my videos, because trust me, I edit the videos. I know how loud I can peak, okay? I know. I'm sorry about that. I try to tone down the peaks as much as I can, but sometimes I yell so loud the microphone screams back. Because I'm a very animated person anyway, and when I get really hyped up and passionate about something, I want to communicate that through the lens, because you guys know, like, I'm on your computer screen, or I'm on your phone, or I'm on your tablet. I'm not in person with you, and whenever I talk to the camera, I really do feel like I am talking to you. I feel like I'm sitting with you and we're having a discussion. And when there's something that I'm passionate about, of course, I want it to come across, you know, because I'm not physically there with you. And so I wanted to talk about why exactly I am as passionate as I am about reselling, because I know that a lot of people, you know, it's their job. Reselling is just a means to an end. It's a way to create a living. But to me, it's a lot more than that. Because maybe if you know why I'm so passionate about it, it can help you fall in love with reselling a little bit more, and maybe make you appreciate every single sale just a little bit more than you do already. Because I seriously view reselling as a magical thing. You know, I've said it before, reselling is like a magic trick. You turn a product into money, but really it's true. And the reason why I view it that way is because I have been through a lot of financial struggle, and without the act of reselling, I honestly don't know what I would have done. You know, I talked in a video that I'll link up here that I did, where I talked about how I went from making $117 a week to making over $2,600 a week, and how humbled I was by the entire experience, because I remember what it was like to work away from home for minimum wage, because that's the only kind of job that I could get at the time. And it wasn't worth $117 a week for me to be doing that. And so I wanted to find something better. But what I didn't go into a lot of detail about in that video was the fact that I was doing reselling as a means to an end at the time, because I needed that extra 50 bucks, you know, to put towards an electric bill to keep it turned on, or I needed that $50 to help pay for groceries. But what I didn't go into a lot of detail about was how many times that had happened in my life, and how many times reselling literally saved me. As a very young adult, a young mother in my early 20s, there was not a lot of money. I was married to not my current husband, but my previous husband, and he did not really hold down any jobs. It was not a functional relationship. There was a lot of emotional abuse and control that I really don't want to go into, but there was no financial stability. And because my husband at the time was not very good at bringing in enough money for our family, I was not in the position to where I was really able to or allowed to go out and work. So I was completely reliant on him, and I used reselling as a way to bring in a little bit of money here and there. And if not for reselling, I don't know what we would have done in some of the situations to, you know, keep our lights on or have the ability to feed ourselves or the kids. I say kids because at the time I had my oldest child. He was just a baby, but my husband at the time had other children from a previous marriage. So we had multiple children in the house, and there was just not a lot of money. And there were periods of time where reselling literally saved us financially because I could not go to my family for financial help and we could not go to his family for financial help. So it was on us, or I should say it was on me because, yeah. So after years of making little bits of money here and there selling things on eBay, and these were things that were purchased that we just needed to sell to get some quick cash, or it was things that I would find for free and then I would flip online for profit. That was, you know, a means to an end off and on for a little bit of time. But then when I finally got up the courage to leave that dysfunctional marriage and try to start over, I actually used reselling as a way to sell things and have a little bit of cash saved up on the side so that I could leave. Because as tight as our finances were, I did not have the money to leave. And that's what I used eBay for. So that was the second time that eBay literally saved me. So the first time eBay saved me was being able to finally stay at home and bring in a little bit of money. And the second time was being able to make enough money on the side to where I could save up money on my own and leave my husband and start over with my son. And then fast forward a few years, I get remarried, I have another baby. I wasn't in the position where I had to work. My current husband, you know, makes enough to pay the bills. He told me that I could just stay home with our youngest son if I wanted to. You know, I really think that I'm that kind of person that even if I had millions of dollars in the bank, I would still be working. I wouldn't just be staying at home because I don't know, I can't just not do something. I always have to have a project or something that I'm doing, and I prefer it to be one that makes me money. So when my youngest son was born, that's when I decided that I wanted to go ahead and try making my eBay business a legitimate work from home opportunity and not just have it be selling a few things here and there for some extra pocket cash. I wanted to try to turn it into something, and because my husband had already given me the opportunity to just be a stay-at-home mom, I didn't have any pressure really to make a certain amount of income in the beginning. I could kind of play around with it and see what I could grow it into. And then eBay ended up saving me again. Reselling swooped in and saved me again when my youngest son was 2 years old and he was diagnosed with autism. When my youngest son was diagnosed with autism, they thought that he was somewhere between moderate and severe on the spectrum, and he was nonverbal because at the time of his diagnosis, he was not speaking, he wasn't able to wave or clap, and he couldn't jump. So they thought that early intervention would help him out a lot, and so they instructed us to start putting him into at least 20 to 25 hours a week of therapy. And it started to become apparent to us during this time that even if I wanted to go back to work, I wouldn't be able to. Because research shows that parents of autism, a lot of the times, one of the parents has to sacrifice their career in order to stay home, because depending on the severity, you may or may not be able to have them in full-time school. There might be, you know, numerous therapies throughout the day for the rest of the child's life that they have to be taken to, and it's really hard to have a typical 9-to-5 job when you have those kind of scheduling challenges. So that was when I realized that having started selling on eBay again and starting to already turn it into a business, because remember, it's already been, you know, a year and a half, I had started growing my eBay store and I was actually making income with it. That's when I realized that eBay was going to save us from losing that second source of income that I wouldn't ever be able to go out and work again. There was also the very real financial strain that was presented to us because therapies are not cheap, and not all of the therapies that they were recommending was covered by our insurance. So there was also going to be added financial commitments. And at the time, that was very scary for us, especially since we were primarily primarily living off of one income. And that is actually when eBay ended up saving us again, because when we received my son's diagnosis, I was already in the process of growing an eBay store and I was already having some regular income from it. So being presented with the fact that I might not ever be able to work outside the home again, I didn't have as much stress or anxiety about that because I knew I was already reselling and proving to be successful at it. So after my son's diagnosis, I really started ramping up my reselling business, and it's been going really well. And because of the ability to work from home and because of the ability to be a reseller and make money, I have been able to be 100% committed to helping my son with his challenges. I've been able to take him to therapy appointments that have helped him with his development. I have been able to be there for him whenever he needs me, because you know, if you have a child with special needs, you know that it's tough, right? And I feel so incredibly blessed to have the opportunity to make legitimate money from home and be able to be there for not only my youngest son that is special needs, but my older son as well. You know, he's getting ready to enter high school and he's playing football. I have the ability to be there for him and cheer him on, and I don't have to work a night job in order to, you know, help pay for therapy bills. I can work from home in the small pockets of time that I do have, and I can be there for both of my children when they need me. And if I didn't have reselling, I don't know what I would have done. And that really scares me to think about. And I am just so incredibly grateful that I am able to do what I do. I am grateful that eBay exists, and I am grateful for everything that I have been able to learn over the last 14 years of being a reseller, that I am now in the position where I can make the kind of money that I make right now reselling in the amount of time that I have to do the reselling. And it is truly at my convenience. I firsthand see the power of being a reseller. Whether you choose to sell on eBay or choose to sell on Amazon or Poshmark or Mercari or any one of the reselling platforms that's out there, doesn't matter which platform you choose to sell on, I see the power of being a reseller. I see how it can change lives, because it has changed my life leaps and bounds. If I didn't have the opportunity to make some extra side money, I don't know if I would have had the courage to leave an abusive relationship. If I didn't have the ability to make money reselling, I don't know how we would have paid for some of my son's therapies. It is also absolutely amazing to me that you can make money as a reseller without investing a lot of money. You know, I always thought that to be an entrepreneur and to start a business that you would have to have thousands of dollars of capital in order to start up. But reselling is one of the only opportunities out there that I can see where you can grow a legitimate business that can make you a significant amount of income that costs little to nothing to get started. You can do it as a sole proprietor. You don't have to be a registered business in order to be a reseller. All you have to do is open up a selling account on one of the various platforms that's out there and start selling stuff that's around your house. And then when you run out of your own stuff to sell, take that money and start buying things at a low price and flip it for profit. And just keep doing it over and over and over again. I do believe it's like magic. It is turning something into money. Money that you need, money that you can use. You don't have to have a college degree. You don't have to be the smartest person on the planet. You literally just have to sell something for more than you paid for it. That's it. It's one of the simplest jobs out there that can give you the biggest returns. You just need to have the drive and be willing to learn, because the things that I know and the things that I do with reselling today, I did not know years ago. It took years of learning. It took years of trial and error. It took years of taking risks to get to the point where I am today. If you're willing to do that, you can do this. And that is why I am so incredibly passionate about reselling. We all have a story, and that one is mine. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, I would appreciate it if you would give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet subscribed, I hope you will consider subscribing and ring the notification bell. That way YouTube will let you know whenever I post a new video. If you have any questions or comments, leave it down in the comments below. If you would like to tell me why reselling is important to you, I would love to hear it down in the comment section. And don't forget to check the video description. I will put some useful links in there for you. And thank you again so much for watching. I will see you guys with my next video. Bye-bye.